The story is told that once there was a little fish who had a touch of wanderlust. Now, this little fish wanted to find out absolutely everything possible about life. And so the little fish begins to swim. And he leaves the family of fish and begins to surge forward for the great life, the ocean. He swims and he swims and he swims, but he does not seem to be able to find the ocean. He swims to the north, to the south. He swims to the east and to the west, but still unable to find that ocean. Finally, the little fish meets up with a huge old fish who is contentedly simply drifting along. Wise old fish, may I ask you a question? And the elder fish welcomes the little fish's question. I'm sure that you have traveled a lot in your life because you have lived many years and had a lot of experience. Can you tell me, how do I get to the ocean? Tell you how to get to the ocean, the wise old fish says peacefully. But my friend, you are in the ocean. But the little fish simply shakes his head, saying, but this is only water. My friends, all of us are searching. All of us are searching for happiness, for a sense of fulfillment, for life, for the power and the presence of our God. But many of us, like that little fish, become so obsessed with looking for satisfaction, with looking for happiness, with looking for that sense of fulfillment, that we fail to see it. And in failing to see it, we become so intent on moving forward that we are unable to recognize what is simply right in front of us. The workers in Matthew's gospel that the church places before us for our reflection today, they are so obsessed with what others have been given that they fail to realize what they themselves have received. Christ, the one in whom you and I are called to pattern our lives, the one in whom you and I place our faith, the one in whom you and I know if we embrace Him and allow His grace to touch and transform us, that Jesus Christ invites us to become what St. Paul in his writings refers to as a people of thanksgiving. To live our lives not in desperation, not in cynicism, but in wonder and gratitude, aware of the life that God breathes into us, aware of the way in which God's love touches and transforms us. And so perhaps the real challenge for you and me as we take these scriptures today and try to integrate them into the way in which we live, perhaps you and I might simply ask God, help me as a person of faith gathered today to celebrate the Eucharist. Help me to recognize what it is that you have given to me, the goodness that is a part of my life, the giftedness that is already there, the relationship that exists between you and me, the relationship in faith that continually acknowledges the goodness of my life and simply says to me, allow that goodness, that grace to transform me. Perhaps you and I, we need to ask God, help us to become aware of that reality, of that gift freely given to us, that none of us have a right to claim as our own, but has been given to us by a God who loves us, a God who simply says to us, use what I've given to you as your act of thanksgiving. I think if you and I embrace that style of living, rather than becoming focused on everything that's around us, focused perhaps on what others have that we may not have, we will come to a deeper appreciation of the giftedness of our lives. We will come to a deeper awareness of the power of God's love, of the power of God's presence that transforms us, that supports us, that encourages us, that enables us as people of faith to give authentic witness to Christ's redeeming love.